Hey, it's Jung. I've got another movement of the day post for you. Today's mod is all about the hands. Well, no, not all about the hands, because then we could talk days on end. I actually have 3 activities to suggest for you to try, and they're kind of random, but they're all tied in by the fact that these are activities that you could do to task on or tack on, double task with another activity that you're already doing. So to kind of help you tie it together, because they're sort of random, we could think of the acronym ESC as in escape, like the escape key of the keyboard. All right, may help, may not, so don't worry about it. But the hands, the reason why I say we could go on for days, there's so many aspects. So anatomically speaking, we could refer to the fingertips to the elbows as being one unit, because it's very much all tied and interconnected, right? Now, when we talk about just the hands, we have not only our motor control, our dexterity, our strength, our mobility through the fingers and through the hands. We also have all of this aspect of the reflexology and the pressure points that's available throughout the hands. Then we could break it down to the wrist area, the forearms, the elbows. So there's a lot going on when we're talking about the hands, just anatomically. Now, from a sort of a physical / emotional aspect, the hands are important because it's our gateway to our tactile world, right? And it's also, emotionally tied to the act of care of holding hands, things like that. Then we also have this aspect of that it's an extension of our personality, right? The way our hands are not only shaped, but the way they move and the way they gesture and the way it's just a really personal way of expressing yourself. So there's a lot of things having to do with the hands that I find very important, very fascinating, a lot we could do, but let's get on with the 3 that I'm suggesting. So the first one for the E is a strengthener, and it's the finger extensions. That's what the E is for, and I actually have a tool suggestion for you. It's not necessary, but I highly suggest it. Remember, I only suggest that you purchase the items that I think are not easily substituted or are cheap or are definitely worth the money, where you're going to get more than your money's worth. So this is called a Flex X, and it comes in a package of 3. So there's the yellow, red, and blue, and each of these stretchy rubber bandy thingies have a different tension. So the yellow is the lightest, and there's all sorts of verbiage and instruction around this. So this is basically geared towards everyone, but definitely for people who use their fingers a lot, like guitarists, pianists, people who play tennis, stuff like that. But again, it's for everyone. So what you would do with this, it's about $15 for a pack of 3. So a 3-pack of 3, meaning it's $5 per pack right now on Amazon, or you could get just the 1-pack for $10. So this little thinger here, it has the 5 holes for each of your 5 fingers. So what you would do is take your finger into each one and place them right up against the edge of your nail bed, so right around your cuticle. Now once that's in, okay, you would have your wrist in about a 45 degree and stretch and open up that, extend those fingers, okay, and you're going to then slowly return and then open up. And you can see I'm shaking because I actually have very bad left hand issues. So that will be a very interesting thing to note here too as you switch hands, if you do have a difference like I do, because when we're doing unilateral work, say with our legs, oftentimes it's not 100% isolation, because you are going to have some part of your the rest of your body engaging in that process. But when you're working your left hand, your right hand has nothing to do with it. It cannot compensate for you. So this is a really good and interesting way to feel a difference between both sides. But you would just do this until fatigue, 10 reps, 15 reps. You know, your goal is to work up to the reps or the tension. So this one is the lightest tension. Now, unlike mobility drills, where I say you could use the feel good as a cue, not so for strength drills. So this one, you're going to feel tension, you're going to feel fatigue. Just as long as you're not feeling sharp pain, you're good to go. Now this is good for everyone. Again, not only for people who are, you know, need their fingers for their hobby or their tool or their trade, or even just for people who have some sort of carpal or arthritis or something like that that they need to work on. It's for everyone, for self-care, okay? So if you don't use one of these, yes, you can use a regular rubber band. You could triple up, whatever, to get the right tension. But same thing, just hook everything up to the edge of your nail bed, and you would do that same motion. And that's just one of the things that you could do with this tool. All right, so that's the strengthener. Now we're getting to the stretch, and here you're going to have to use your imagination, because this is something that I'm suggesting you do. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go back. The activity that you would do to double task with that action is a phone call. So that's what I would suggest when you're at your desk and you have to make a phone call, 5-10 minutes. Go ahead and work on that. But that is so lightweight and portable. You could do that at any time if you have, you know, a waiting period of 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Now for this stretch, this is one that I would suggest that you would do when you're either napping or sleeping. So this is something to do when you're laying down in bed. And since I can't show you, let's use our hands apropos to demonstrate. So we're just going to pretend this is your mattress. This is where you would lay your head. And if you have a wall or a headboard, it would look like this, right? And now you would have a gap right here, right? Between the mattress and the headboard, where the gap would be, you know, where you would be able to put your hand in to change out your sheets, right? So that's the gap. Now, what we're going to do is, if I'm laying down, and this is my head here on the mattress, okay, right here, I'm going to open up my arms and shoulders into the cactus pose, okay, right like this. Then I'm going to take that gap that we're just talking about. So wrist goes back, I insert my palms into that gap right there, and give myself a nice little mild stretch through the wrists and the forearms, also a nice shoulder opener. So however long you hold that, you know, if you fall asleep, you're just going to move out of it anyway, so that's fine. Then thirdly, we're already washing our hands a lot, right? And more than ever. And that means that you're also putting on lotion more often than not. And again, this is for everyone, not just for women I'm talking to, okay? So when you're putting on your lotion, so this is something you're doing anyway, instead of just doing a quick little rubbing in like this, if you have the time to spend an additional 30 seconds to a minute, I would say 30 seconds per hand, you would do there's so much self-massage you could do on your hand. This one is simply a very quick massage focused on circulation, okay? So you would focusing on your fingers, okay, you would take your other hand and just do a series of quick little rubbing, twisting, friction, squeezing, especially through the knuckles. Now, if you squeeze through the finger pads, okay, that's also supposed to be good for your brain, okay? But just get your fingers quickly. The friction is going to give you a boost in circulation, okay? So I have another little bonus for you though. Again, this is for everyone, not just for women. If you could use a cuticle oil, it doesn't have to be a cute little dress Anna Sui one like mine, but take your cuticle oil, and it usually comes with a brush or a dropper. Just one little quick swipe at the base of your nails, and then as you're doing that finger massage, with or without the lotion, this is fine as well. Now you have a added bonus of getting the cuticle oil, and it also helps with the friction massage as well to have that oil. If you're having the rough edges around your cuticles around this time because of the frequent hand washing and the weather, doing this even just once a day has a huge effect. But if you could do it more than once a day, that would be even more ideal. Okay, so those are the 3 things that you could do as you're doing something that you're already doing. And I know it's a little bit random, but just even doing one on a consistent basis will have some benefits. All right, so give it a go. This is Jung signing off, reminding you to start where you are, do what you can, use what you have, and move something.